Most of us watch films. However, not all of us know about the work that goes into them behind the scenes. I want to take you to the beginning, where the journey begins for most of these aspiring filmmakers. Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm here to give you an insight into what it's like to be a student filmmaker. This is essentially the start of a student's journey into working in the film industry. And to give you a better understanding of what we get up to here, I will be speaking to David, who is a lecturer that has been teaching students like myself for a number of years now. I will also be speaking to a filmmaking student called Poppy, as she gives her thoughts and opinions on what this means to her to be learning the fundamentals of film at this important stage of her life. Thank you for speaking to me today, David. I wanted to get your thoughts on student filmmaking in general. When you have a class full of new students, what's the first piece of advice you give them when they're about to begin their first project?
So the first piece of advice, and I would say this advice to not only beginner filmmakers, but also to professional filmmakers, is to, no matter what it is, if it's a short film, if it's a film trailer, a feature film, keep the idea simple. I mean, even if you look at the most complicated films, let's say Inception, that's a simple idea at its heart. It's the person that wants to implant an idea into a person's mind. That is it. Keep the idea simple. Don't try and do 8 different storylines at once. Keep your idea, your narrative, your characters, your locations. Keep it simple, especially if you're a beginner.
Do you think there's a pressure at all for these students? Since it's such a competitive industry to get into, do you think that students always need to be producing the best work possible to give them a chance?
Do they need to always be producing their best work? No. In fact, I encourage them to produce rubbish work and work they're not so proud of. And I'm talking to every filmmaker here, they produce stuff that they're not happy with, and they probably learnt the most from it. They probably learnt more from producing absolute rubbish and something that they're not happy with, rather than producing a film that they're really happy with. So you probably learn more from making mistakes, looking back at stuff and watching your short film going, oh, I should have changed that. That didn't work there. Maybe the script needed change there. That didn't make sense to the audience. So no, I wouldn't say that students need to always be producing their best work. They should always strive to produce their best work, but there's nothing wrong with not.
Poppy, you're a student that's been here for a couple of years now. What's been your favourite part about being a student filmmaker so far?
I think it's the creative freedom that they give you. So obviously I'm learning to become a filmmaker, and by working alongside like-minded people like myself and having help from lecturers who are also in the industry, I think it's like a really good way for me to branch out my ideas and my skills and just become more acquainted with the film industry in general.
From your experiences so far, would you say that students should make the most out of it whilst you're here? Is there anything that you look back on now and wish you could have done differently?
Yeah, definitely. I think people really should take advantage of it because it's the perfect opportunity to just build up your portfolio, ensure that you've got enough decent work so that you can show future employees and companies. It's the ideal time to just build up your skills, learn what sort of side of the filmmaking industry that you want to work on and truly develop and become your own skill. I think for me personally, I would take more risks if I could do it again. I'd push myself and try out different things, experiment, see if there's other sides to the industry that I could also work on, just because then you can really, really build up the portfolio. So I think that would be definitely what I'd change if I could do it all again, just take more risks and really push myself to do the best work that I can.
Thank you for joining me and allowing me to give you a taste of what it's like to be a student filmmaker. Everyone's journey has to start somewhere, so next time you're watching a film or a TV show or even a documentary, look at everyone's name in the credits. Those people have put so much time and effort into getting where they are, and many of them would have started off as student filmmakers.